and welcome to a brand new edition of Dur or Die, the Porsche podcast that asks the questions that absolutely no one is asking, but we thought we would anyway. My name is John Polnik. I'm your host, along with my partner, Duane Wik.
Greetings. Excellent evening that we're having here, I got to tell you.
Are you enjoying your liquor?
That was not really a sentence.
Yeah, I don't know. When we record this show, we drink a lot, and
it greases the wheels.
This is not my first glass of. How many fingers is that? That's a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot of ice.
Pour me up 3 fingers of that.
Yeah. So we're having a good time. Welcome to. So we do this podcast. We do it in the Container Park. This is the Rami Studio in downtown Las Vegas. If you're ever in downtown Las Vegas, look for the big flame-throwing praying mantis out front, and you've pretty much found us.
There's a lot of animals down here. What's the armadillo building?
I don't know about the armadillo building. You're throwing me off on that one.
Really?
I don't know.
That's right across from where you live.
Yeah.
It's literally on 6th. I shouldn't give you address. I don't know.
6th Armadillo building. Don't
Park
know what he's
Place.
talking about. I live here, but who cares? We have a studio audience here, guys.
Well, hey.
Look at that. We got Rami. We got Chef from Vegas Auto Fest. We got Jason Adine.
Get in that shot, Jason.
Chef is representing the PCA tonight.
That is right. Let's see those pleated shorts. And Mental's behind the big board. How you doing, Mental?
I'm happy. I'm happy.
Show us your lower third, sir.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. I'm failing.
You see that? I can't even see the screen. I knew the lower third wasn't on there.
There's
All
a lot
right.
going
No,
on
so
right now.
we're on every Tuesday and Thursday, right? That's how often
We
we're
are
doing this?
Yeah.
All right.
And I've been watching myself religiously.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, it's
you and like
I have
four
to get
other
the
people, I
viewer
think.
count up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just playing in the background all the time.
If you are a new watcher to the show, you have increased our views exponentially by an order of magnitude. I think every
Of all the Porsche and this is nothing against the other Porsche podcasts that are out there.
Of
They
course not.
all serve a
of
purpose.
course. Right.
I like ours the best. I really do.
I would argue we're the least bougie.
I agree.
The most boozy.
Well, that's the one thing I
Most
didn't want.
boozy, least bougie. That should be your tagline. That should be on a shirt.
Instant classic tagline right there. Speaking of taglines, AutoFest. I don't know their tagline, but it's happening. It's
The
coming
drivers
up.
are coming.
The drivers are coming. Thank you. I did know that. It was
You did know that.
buried somewhere back here.
Yeah, so good.
I bring that up because today's topic is all about car shows.
Car shows.
Car shows. And why? Why car shows exist? Here's the thing. When I drive to a car show, I'm like, what am I going to do the whole time I'm there? This is what I'm thinking in the back of my head. I'm like, I sure hope I either run into somebody I know or go along with somebody I know. Otherwise, I'm going to be bored out of my mind. Like, sure, it's kind of fun to like walk around and see maybe a total beater that you're making fun of in your mind, but never to the person. Not because of beaters.
You're going straight to car show etiquette.
I want to talk about car show etiquette for sure. But by the way,
Our studio
Jason
audience has also had a lot of booze.
is
and
missing
they're
a wheel.
Literally falling out.
He's
of his
missing a wheel on his chair.
That's
not his fault.
I'm glad I made him secure.
You're good.
He was on the edge of his chair because of what I was saying.
I'm
honestly.
glad
It was
I'm
like,
glad I made
what
them
is he gonna
secure
say
the barbecue sauce, because that stuff would have been everywhere.
He was like a dad earlier. It's like, clean up that
What
barbecue.
you're saying though, like I don't even think that. Like I go to the car show, I just want to hang out and have a good time.
Right.
And I
You
wanna
get what
meet
I'm laying down.
See,
Yeah.
I don't. I have that same thing. I'm like, what if you show up and like you're standing around? It's all.
Jason,
So
Jason
Jason
is,
has an opinion.
It's kind of awkward, you know. And then you're like, what if the people there are just, you know, they're like the pleated short guys, and then how do you like drive in and make a quick exit without, you know?
you do the whole like
You don't think it's
like
'cause you're awkward?
you're touring the lot. That's the first thing you do, right? And then if there's a coffee place, you're like, okay, now it's time to get a coffee. I've walked around, or maybe I've walked half of it. Okay, now I can get a coffee. I'm doing something. Better go back, check on my car. Am I neurotic? This is kind of revealing.
Let me just comment on that. That's
Okay.
why the Vegas Auto Fest has showgirls, stilt walkers, live podcasts, live bands,
And
jet skis on the water this year.
What?
Fire-
Possibly
That's impossible.
the death of motorcycles.
What
It is a total circus shit show
Vegas
of
style.
cars, Vegas style.
He's not making that up. There's
All under
live
one-
bands.
And we have
He's-
mental.
You have live
awesome.
live music. It was great. You had low riders. It was awesome.
There's lots to do besides,
Chef wasn't coming through my cans.
5 Silver Stream vans with like 40 beers on.
Right.
That's something to do right there.
That's just worth the price of admission right there.
Chef, I'm glad you woke up.
Chef. Me too.
The wings woke him up.
Here's the thing about car shows. I feel like car shows are a lot like going to a junior high dance when you're a kid,
Yes.
right? Before you've kind of
Thank
like
you.
figured things out. You know, remember going back when it was awkward?
The
You're like,
sock
oh,
hop. They didn't
okay.
even call it a dance.
Yeah, you go there and you walk around. Do you know anybody? Do you talk to? If your friends are there, you're good, right?
Mhm.
You can go right to the click.
Absolutely.
They're always they can be a little too clicky though.
Did you ever do a
unfortunately.
solo dance move to impress a girl? I did. And that's why
Let me guess,
I didn't
you
get
did?
laid until I was very
That takes
late in life.
I give
Yeah.
you credit, man.
Thank you. It was like the slide move. I was like, check this out. I totally wanted to
There's
impress
some
her.
awkward.
You did like the worm.
No. It's way too tall to do the worm. It just looked like me laying on the
You do the
ground.
electric slide.
Oh, I know the electric slide.
Do you?
I'm actually not a bad dancer for being 6'6".
I want to see.
Okay.
Next
Invite
car
me to the
show.
next sock hop.
Next
Okay.
car
car
show
show.
we're gonna
Does
do.
AutoFest have a dance
Now you
floor?
don't have to be apprehensive.
I will get out there.
about
We're
it
gonna
all.
do some sick dance moves at the car show.
You see,
But-
when I
but-
go to
but
the
you're
car
right.
show, I'm sorry to interrupt, but when I go to the car show, like I always find one or two really interesting people.
Yeah.
Always, every time. So that's what excites me to go, to meet someone new and interesting and like weird or different and looks at life a little differently.
I
And
think
it's
that
like, wow,
plays
this-
into the
this
etiquette
person's cool.
of car shows, because you shouldn't judge a book by its cover or a person by their car, right?
Right.
Because you may have no interest in this
It might not be the
Mustang with some bolt-on friendly local auto parts flaps. Have you ever heard that acronym, flaps?
Yes.
I digress.
I love that. Friendly
Thank you.
local
Someone-
auto parts store.
One person gets it.
That sounds like an everyone racers type of thing to know.
Great. Where was I?
I don't know.
Local auto parts.
Okay, so you find a car that
I'm
you
still
absolutely
stressing out
hate.
from
Like
all the
a-
anxiety from junior high is coming back
We touched a
from this
nerve.
episode.
Touched a
I
nerve.
feel like I'm getting shoved in a
So
locker.
wait, did you ever do a solo dance move or no?
I was poor at the dance moves. I've never been
You were
a
poor?
solid dance.
What?
Huh? I was poor at
Oh,
dance
poor.
moves. I was poor at the dance moves. You know, the dance thing. Look, that's one of the reasons why I got into cars, because I had this kind of notion. I thought that when I got my first cool car, that girls would like me.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that adults would take me seriously. I had the fantasy that having the car is going to make everything in your life better. And
It
I
kind
think,
of did back then, though, right? Because I
No,
remember
I
it
mean-
was freedom.
No.
Oh, absolutely it did.
No.
There were no cell
Any
phones.
car was freedom.
Any
Oh,
car.
okay, a cool
I'm not
car.
talking about. Yeah, I'm saying I'm
Okay.
talking about a cool car, right? The
Gotcha.
first time you get a cool car, it's a big milestone. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it does not fulfill. It doesn't meet up to the standard. When you're young, you realize real quick, because you can't, like, Chef, are you trying to get in there?
I just thought you needed a group.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
He's coming to offer emotional support. Like, that's the kind of guy he is.
You know, Chef is like asleep the whole time. He had like 24 tater tots, and he was like been snoring in the
Chef was a little
background.
tired.
Like, can we use this episode? Do we need a CPAP machine over there? I don't know what's going on.
So when I was in military school,
Yeah.
and if it gets too dirty, you tell me.
In between
I was-
the spankings.
We did the prom, the junior prom, and I was there, and they're like, Corporal Mercer, we have to do something about Diaz in the corner. I'm like, wow, what's going on? And they're like, he's got that girl like a 6-pack. You got to do something. And I was like, oh.
Hey, Rami,
I'm
leave
like, you go, Diaz.
leave space for Jesus in between when you dance, okay?
That's right.
That's what they
Thank
were
you.
doing, like 2 fists away from the girl. Like, so ridiculous.
Oh,
How are they supposed to
Well,
feel your
how the
boner when they're
world
that
has
far away?
changed,
When
right?
you're
I mean, how the world
uncontrollable
has
8th grade
changed.
boner.
The car. So many people are still into cars because they still have the same fantasy idea that I did when I was in high school, and realized real quick that it just doesn't. It's not
But
it. It's not why you get into cars.
Cars are like more expensive accessories for guys who hate clothes in some cases. Like, maybe they're,
The
but
cars,
I mean,
all
that doesn't
car scenes
exclude
are
them.
full of dorks. There are no chicks at car shows. There are no like you go to any car event,
chicks.
and there are no women there.
It's
if
the
there
old-
are, they're an SO. They're a significant
Army
other.
girls come.
Yeah, they're paid to be there. No women go, yeah, let's go hang out at the car show. Some
Like no one
boyfriend
knew.
or some pimp, like, here's $200. Come hang out. Nobody hangs out with any of us without getting paid. What are you talking about? Mental guy with the hair. What?
All right. JP, I'm going to sell you out right here because one of the things JP curates one of our favorite local car events. If you're ever in Las Vegas on the last Sunday a month, come down to the Good Wolf Clothing Company. It's
Which,
early
by
in the
way,
morning.
They have great clothes there.
They really do. I bought a couple. I bought a couple of non-black T-shirts there.
Kaas und Kaffee.
But and it is a very German-centric show. But at one of the shows, this girl showed up in like a 65 Plymouth Valiant, and it was a Survivor. It was unrestored, had the Mexican blankets on the seats. She did have it lowered. And you made someone move their 911 to put that thing front and center. And she was like, "Are you sure?" You're like, "No, this car is too cool." So JP can play the elitist all he wants. But at the end of the day, like everyone else in this room, he's a gearhead and he respects.
Your story
passion.
proves my point. No women show up to this stuff, and
Well,
when
she was the one driving the car.
When
but yeah.
one does, we all bend over backwards to like, oh my god, a woman's here.
No,
Let's
you
make
did
a
it. You
good
did it because it was a
experience
cool car.
for her. Well, that too. I mean, look, if
There's
a
been-
chick shows up in a Geostorm or something, I'm not going to be.
Right.
Well, actually, I'd be pretty impressed by that.
Do you remember the what was it? She had like a barn find, that blue squareback. Was it?
No, look.
Do you remember
that's
that
not
one?
my point.
Doesn't
But
matter.
The girls are outliers. When they show up, there are a handful of girls, single girls, that show up to car shows every now and then.
Yeah.
But they're like
They're immediately-
it's single digit percentage, and
Correct.
they're weird. And when they try to date all the guys that come to the car shows,
I don't
it
know what
gets a
you're
little
talking
weird.
about.
Yeah, right. I mean, or Rami. We got a silent moment from Rami in the
never
in the
happens.
show. No, I mean, look,
was
have you
reflecting.
been to? And I've been on so many committees, and I've been on like panels and people talking about how do we attract. It's just like the PCA trying to attract young people by making the car shows something different for them to. You got to go where they are. But how many times are they like? You see a car show and they've got like, I don't know, makeup or wine tasting or some crap like that. That's not what a car show is. You're just trying to make a car show into something it's not.
Right.
The only way that you can attract more women to car shows is treat them with respect like you do everyone else. But by and large,
Is this a
car shows are
mansplaining
not
moment?
Yeah.
car shows are not.
I'm gonna switch
Women don't
gears.
go to car
I'm gonna
shows.
switch gears on you.
Why don't we switch gears right
gears?
after this? Hey guys, I'm super excited to tell you about our sponsor, Guys Customs. That's Guys, GYX _customs. That's how you spell it. Guys Customs bracelets. These things are amazing. Check them out. They're handmade in America, custom bracelets made to match your watch or your car. These things are unbelievable. I have 3 or 4 of them myself. My partner Michael Deeb has a bunch of them. They're pretty addictive once you get one. Each one of them are bespoke. We're talking carbon fiber. We're talking titanium. We're talking stainless steel, glass. There's none of this cheap Chinese garbage that you see a lot of bracelets being made out there. These ones are super high quality. They're made right here in America. When you go to Guys Customs on Instagram, it's about the only place that you can order one of these. When you DM the artist, you're actually reaching the real artist when you DM Guys Customs at Instagram. And she will make you a bracelet made to match that special watch, that special car, or that special person that has a special watch or a special car and they want something really, really cool in their life. They make the most amazing gifts. I get compliments on mine all the time. Everywhere I go, people are like, wow, that's really cool. You can see in the pictures, these beads, the colored beads are PTS. They're paint to sample. So if you have a specific color code for your car, she'll have beads made that are specifically painted to match your car or your watch. It's unbelievable. You got to get one of these Guys Customs bracelets. Check them out. They support us, and we really, really, really want to support them. Guys Customs bracelets. Can we get? I love that sound.
Before we,
Ice clinking.
I
in a
love that
drink.
sound too. Did
So
you see my
refreshing.
sub pop? I wore this just for you.
Oh, I
Seattle.
thought that was your nipples.
Well, that too.
Yeah. I was looking at those.
Guys,
Seattle label.
Guys, we're recording right now. It's live.
Mhm.
I was checking out your chair.
So the sock
You're
hop.
good in that chair.
Well, hold on. Before we went to the break, Rami wanted to hop in. We were still talking about car shows, but you wanted to hop in with something else.
You wanted to switch
What were
gears.
we talking about? I wanted to
We were
switch
talking about
gears.
car shows, but you're going to switch gears. All right, you had the segue, but we're dead.
It'll come
Yeah,
back.
okay.
It'll come back.
I'm ready. Don't
He's got
worry.
it.
I
He's got
got
it. What do you
it.
got,
Come
Robbie?
on. The synapses are still firing, even with the
A
alcohol.
lot of scotch and
I'll tell you the reason why I go to the car shows. It's because afterward, sometimes we go on a drive.
Hmm.
That's my motivation.
Yeah, that's fun.
100%.
And we do
I-
breakfast, or
we do
for me,
breakfast.
it's just catching up with a lot of friends and family or whatever. Family.
well, and that's the thing. It's when you go to a car show that's familiar,
Mhm.
where all your friends are there. Those are obviously more fun than maybe necessarily going to the new one,
It's like cheers.
or going to But it's also the type of car show that you go to. I mean, some car shows are more geared to younger people. Some of them are more geared towards
Sure.
muscle cars that
Do
maybe
you-
you're into or not. It is fun to go to the muscle car show and watch all the Mustangs crash or do
Right.
burnouts and stuff
Immediately
like that. Yeah.
lose traction as they exit
Go
the
on
show.
fire.
Yeah.
Do you ever approach people who you think are maybe as a mentor, just kind of like if you see like a younger guy at a show who's like maybe got a car that he's done a little bit of work to,
Absolutely.
it's kind of cool, and you go up to him just to kind of
I've seen Rami do that a bunch.
Yeah, I do it a lot.
Yeah. So
I do it a lot.
why? I mean,
Why?
yeah.
Because they're just like us.
hmm
They might not have the money or the experience, but they're just like us. They're so interested.
So you're
They're actually
encouraging
really
the hobby,
interested in
basically.
the
You're
car.
doing your
Yeah.
part to-
and they're genuine about it. Like
Right.
they really are doing it because they love it, not to show off, not to put a wing on their car, but they're just like, oh yeah, I tuned it, I did this, and it's like exactly the way we were when we were kids. That's why
Right.
we're there. It's just there's a younger form of it, or
Absolutely.
even if they're just new to it.
And I would
You
say,
can tell when somebody's really into it
Yeah.
and when they're just like, it's a bunch of BS.
Right.
When they're really into it, I'm like, oh, let me show me your car. What's going on? It's cool. I
And
think that's great. Like
as the
you
young guy at the show, it was always way cool when someone with a wicked cool car that was obviously there walked over and said something. It was just genuinely positive about your car, like, oh, I had one of those back in the day, or that kind of stuff. That sort of thing does cement your enthusiasm as a young person.
Yeah, and encourage them.
I was walking around Luft in Indy, and around the backside where kind of like the corral was for like the locals who weren't in the show proper, but they were in the approved corral or whatever. There was a guy there just kind of sitting by his car, older gentleman. Turns out his 914 was like one of the rarest 914s in existence. I think it was a 914-6 or 916 actually. Maybe it was a 916 prototype. It's something crazy, right? It was like a one of one. He was totally unassuming, and I would never have gotten his backstory if I didn't like walk over and start talking to him. But really cool guy, and just goes to show you should get out there and bend people's ears. And
I agree.
Tell them about
Yeah,
Satan
it doesn't
and how
matter
to
if
worship
they're
him.
old or
And
young, right?
Oh,
Doesn't matter
what?
if they're
Are
old
we
or
still
young,
on?
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If they're interested in cars, talk to them. Right?
yeah.
Oh,
Just kidding about Satan, people. Jesus.
Can't hear you,
Follow
Rami.
Jesus.
No, it's true. I think it really makes a difference the type of car show that you go to, though. I mean, look, when you're going to a local car show, it's one thing. If you've never been to, if there's a new show, there's always a vibe at car shows.
Yeah.
And let's face it, they're pretty cliquey. If you're not in a clique, it can be a little uncomfortable. It can be a little bit like the high school.
Do you look for
cafeteria
your
game, right?
brand when you go to park?
I don't. I don't really care. I mean, but I know some people.
So
will
you'll
drive,
park
yeah.
in between a whole row of Mustangs?
I wouldn't if the
I've
spot
seen
is where
I've
you
seen
are.
him do it. It's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
We went
Yeah.
to that show with like all those American cars there. We rolled up with all the Porsches.
Right.
Pulled right in. Everybody's like, "Oh, these guys." We're like, "Hey, how's it going?"
On that note, do you want to go to? There's a new. I don't know if it's new to me. There's a new car show in town, and it's like
No.
it's mostly American muscle car type.
Yet
Stuff.
another car show. In town.
Yet
Which
another
one's
one,
that?
and I'm like, I'll go check it out.
Mhm.
And actually, we have a mutual friend who hates car shows, tracks a lot, but when he got his new, I don't even know what it is, 911, but it's all tricked out. It's like a turbo. What does he call it? He calls it the Turbo RS, something he made up, whatever. he did the tour. He went to every car show in town, and he's like, okay, I did all the car shows. I'm done. I'm never going to the car shows again with this car. Now, if he got a new car, he might do the tour again. But I found that interesting.
I don't know who that is, but I
That's
hate
weird.
that guy. That
He's
sounds like the
actually-
stupidest thing I've
Yeah, it's
ever
very
heard
weird.
in my entire life. It's not even about, I mean, the car that you bring to a car show is fun, right? But that's
I said
That's
mutual
not
friend.
It. No, sorry if I know the guy, but I don't like him. I'll tell you that, whoever it is. That's
Be
awful.
nice.
Mhm.
That is the worst car shower goer I
Why?
think I've
But
ever
I mean,
heard.
is it because
Remember the
What is it mental?
no?
remember the car show that we stumbled upon outside of Overton? They had
Yes,
that old
yeah.
fire
Oh.
truck.
Yeah, like the rando
A
car
small
shows in a
town
small town.
car shows are the
That was
best.
great, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a GT3. I had a GT3.
Was that one of the times that Jason Adine crashed?
That was
He was
the
four
day
wheels
that
off.
I,
He was 4 wheels off that day. Yes.
that I had a little bit of a get off there.
Episode.
But I recovered nicely.
He pushes the limits. You got
Good
to
job.
appreciate
Good
the
job.
fact that he.
It was a near miss. Doesn't
Oh.
count. Doesn't go on the record.
I mean, car shows. Again, they're good. They're bad, and I think if you found a formula, like in your case, that
Yeah.
makes it better, then we need more of that.
Well, hold on. I want to go back to this idea of like having a car and taking it to all the car shows. Now you've shown your car to the car shows. I think this misses the point of the car show. What Rami was talking about, going and finding, if your goal for a car show should be to meet new friends and see old friends,
Right.
and not show off your stupid car because
I
hold
met-
on, let me finish.
Okay.
Your car sucks. Your
Right.
car sucks.
Yeah.
I don't care how nice it is. It's who the hell cares about your car?
Beyond
nobody
that
cares
first
about
2
your car.
minutes of like admiration or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to a car show because you want someone to suck your whatever for your car, then please don't come to my car show.
Yeah.
That you are the worst kind of
Tailpipe.
person. What do you got to say, Montel?
I was going to agree with that. Is you were talking about it depends on the type of car show, and I would also say it depends on your motivation. If you have something unique and rare or weird, or just something that you like and you want to share, then I think you've got the right attitude. One of the neatest things at Cars and Coffee that we were all flabbergasted by was when a bunch of folks showed up on the hopped up mopeds. They were all like the 50cc, like Uber sport bike, and they all rode them up there in like full gear. And we were just like, not our particular form of gearheadism,
Yeah.
but legit enthusiasm.
Right.
And they were just interesting to meet.
I do
And that-
appreciate the legit enthusiasm.
and one of the things I always love, my guilty pleasure, is I love lowrider shows because lowriders are so enthusiastic about that culture.
Yeah.
You can't help but have fun at a lowrider car show
So
unless
And
you're
the
just an
paint
ass.
is
Shout
really
out to our
donk.
friend Foolish in Vegas,
Yeah.
Cisco.
Our buddy Dave Waddell is always posting pictures of lowriders. He
Yeah.
goes to every lowrider show in LA, and
Nice.
like, yeah.
I'm figuring out that everybody in this room's genuine. Imagine that.
You don't know me that
Robbie,
well.
one of my favorite car show experiences when we took one of your GT3s out onto the dry lake bed and it was caked in an inch
Semen?
of dust.
Oh,
it was
sorry.
just like the most. That was when you drove it. No, it was just like you couldn't even tell what color the car was, and right. And people wrote "wash me" in it and stuff like that. And we showed up, and half the people
like
at that
the
car
one
show
in
it was the
Summerlin,
douchiest
right?
car show in town. I'm not going to say the name
People
of it.
were writing on the car,
Yeah.
drawing on
Half the people there
Oh,
were
yes.
so
I
angry.
remember when you rolled in with that. And
Yeah.
I was like,
It was great.
I think I put it on my IG
Yeah.
because it was
Yeah.
awesome.
People
Yeah.
were so offended by that,
They
though.
were offended, but also
Yeah.
like, that's hilarious.
Well, it was one or the other, right? People were like, "Oh, I would never do that with a car like that." That's because you'll never have one. Screw you. I think that's what's great about
We were
guys
saying that
really-
about
yeah.
Rami's RS, and
Yeah.
we were appreciating the fact that it went to somebody like Rami because he would actually drive it.
Yeah.
Like the engineers envisioned someone driving it.
These guys that have their car and just drive it to the car shows once to show off, and then take it back to the garage and rub it with a diaper. It's like, dude, just stay home.
Have you
Oh,
ever
there
seen
was-
a guy come to a car show and rev his engine excessively?
Oh my God. Yes.
Who was
Dying on
here?
fire.
Can you elaborate on this for us, JP?
Yeah, who was here when the
Yeah.
when the guy in the Murcielago was it? Or was it an SV?
JP kicked someone out of his show.
It
Just
wasn't.
leave.
Yeah. It wasn't even that cool of a Murcielago. He had like the ridiculous AutoZone shark mouth on it. Oh,
So
what a clown.
Spike Ferrestein on that show, they were talking about how cars in whatever it is in Malibu, cars in Malibu or whatever.
Yeah.
The show got ruined by Lamborghini drivers.
Yeah.
I mean, they are
Shocking.
legendary in their like just the same thing. They pull up and then they rev until the engine catches on fire.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, what is it? Exotic Supercar Saturday at Monterey Car Week on Cannery. That is the worst car scene ever. It's like millions of dollars of cars. It's every guy who just, crypto bros and tech guys that just, they go out and they buy the most expensive car and they drive it in a straight line. Then they come to the intersection at Cannery Row during Car Week on Saturday and just rev the living crap. And there's like little kids like 2 inches away from some
their
straight
eardrums
exhaust.
are blown
Their
out
hearing
for
is
life.
ruined. I'm just like, this is insane. It's the worst scene in cars. I'll take a JDM kid show any day over these or
even
a
with all the
Muffin
camber.
show
It's a lot of camber.
I don't mind that. I
Sheesh.
don't mind the camber. Guys,
That's hella flush, not JDM punk
What
shows. You got to get it
Hella
straight,
flush.
is your favorite car show? What's your favorite car show scene? What do you think is the most important aspect of car show etiquette? Tell us in the comments below right after you subscribe, like, and hit the notification button for this channel, the Dur or Die channel.
Yes, indeed.
I think we're gonna end it on that.
Cheers.
And I want to say thank you to my co-hosts, Duane
Thank you.
Wik, and our studio audience,
The guys.
the guys.
To all you people at home,
Mental
the little people.
in the back with his very own lower thirds. Look at that guy.
He's get his own lower
I'm
thirds.
gonna
It's
have
awesome.
another drink of my scotch.
See you next time.
I don't know what that means. It's fine.
We'll see you guys at the car show.